But that's an interesting part of society right now when talking about like, well, this is what my body feels like. A lot of people are saying like, I feel like a woman.
Oh.
Like they're like that stuff now. It's like basically people are dumbing things down to a feeling. I know we've covered it extensively on this show. I went out to the Division I swimming championships.
You were there for that?
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was just a wild experience.
How does he hide it?
It's there.
How does he hide it?
It's there. I don't want to know.
So I'm looking,
I don't want to know how that's
creep
being
out.
hidden,
But I'm looking at pictures of Leah, and I'm like, where is it? I know it's in there, right?
I'll be completely honest. I was definitely looking.
Yeah, hell yeah, you were looking. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, where's this dude? Put this thing. Is he like you've seen Silence of the Lambs, right? Is he Buffalo Bill? Is he tugging it like? Woo? You remember that part?
I definitely remember that part.
I'm looking like, dang, how's he swimming with it? Maybe he gets out and does it. I don't know,
but sometimes when you're swimming, it's not as impressive.
That's when you want to hide it because it's cold. Anyway, you were there for that. I bet that was stressful.
Oh my gosh. And it's just like you're dumbing things down to feelings. I was so interested. I'm like, I want to talk to Leah Thomas supporters. And like, just because that's what I feel like we need to do.
There were some there?
Yeah. So they had some on one side closest to the aquatic center.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have heard stories behind this. We had a swim coach from Rice at Houston was on. We've had some pro swimmers talk about this as well. But when I was telling people about what it was like there were Save Women's Sports that were obviously against males competing in women's sports. And then the other side, you had Leah Thomas supporters. And I was like, simple questions. What is a woman? Do you feel like Leah has a biological advantage over these females?
Yep.
And when I asked the simple question of what is a woman, and I know this is something that's
a hard question. You're not a biologist.
Oh, I know.
You got to be tough. That's a tough question.
That's a tough part.
You're not a biologist, so you can't answer that question.
I mean, that's what's a crazy world we live in. You have to be a biologist to know what a woman is.
A woman is.
And
I think I know what a woman is.
I think we know what it is.
I'm pretty sure I know what a woman is.
Yeah, I think there's two genders I heard, and there's XX and XY.
Yes, you can. But the problem, not the problem. I'm not going to say it's a problem. The thing is, you can identify a certain thing. I'm okay. So the problem I have is if you're fully transitioned and you want to compete against women, I think it's more. It's more okay with me because if you still have men body parts, you should not be competing against the women. I just don't understand how that's okay. You don't see women who are still women transitioning to be a dude competing against dudes. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe I'm missing out.
Because that was the interesting part of this. Because I know asking the supporters, there was like, all right, well, I feel like gender's different for everybody. Being a woman is different for everybody. And then you talk about that specific aspect. It's like, well, why did one of the best women's soccer teams, our U.S. women's national team, get beat by 15U boys out of Dallas?
Yeah, I heard not just beat. Crushed.
Like, in basically, it's just like there is a biological advantage there.
It's just what it is.
When you're talking about somebody that's transitioning, like we live in this world now that I hate to see people mutilating their bodies to be something that they're not. But there was a swimmer, transgender male. So someone broke this down to me, and it was the best way to understand when you hear all these, like there's so many new genders, there's pronouns, and then when you say transgender male, like what does that mean? Just replace transgender with fake. So this is a fake male.
Fake male.
This is a fake male. Isaac Hennig, that swims for Yale, was at the swimming championships.
Okay.
And
transgender, fake male.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So a biological female and had the top surgery and warmed up topless, and you could see the scars here, which like breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But was warming up for the finals on the last day of competing.
Made the finals?
And it's like very good, but that's what's interesting is you have a biological female that transitions to a male but won't go and compete in men's sports. Like,
Isaac was competing against the women?
Exactly.
Oh, so, how's that fair?
Because you're
taking the testosterone and whatever else you have to take to be a male. You should not be allowed to compete against the females. They're giving it both ways. It's just I don't understand that. And there was a track runner in high school, I want to say in South Carolina, who was a let me see how you would say this, a fake woman.
Yeah, so a transgender female is a fake woman.
So he still was transitioning into a female, but he still has male body parts. And he set all these state records in South Carolina for the women.
Yeah,
but he was a man.
And I've heard like a track athlete in Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm okay if you want to transition. I have no problem with that, but don't compete against the opposite sex. Usually it's men versus women until you're transitioned. You shouldn't be able to do that until you're fully transitioned and estrogen, all that stuff or whatever. You shouldn't still have testosterone flowing through you if you're competing against women.
Because that's where I feel like there's an aspect here of like already a male going through puberty is a massive advantage, even if you're going to take estrogen and you're going to take testosterone blockers and stuff like that. Like there's already a physical advantage with like lung capacity. You're talking about bone density. You're talking about muscles, everything. That's just like this does not devalue women's sports, saying that a male is going to most likely. That's why it's like the NBA. You're not going to see a woman probably ever make it into the NBA.
No.
You're probably not going to see a woman make it into Major League Baseball. It could, but I just don't.
Tell me you saw what Chappelle said about LeBron going to the WNBA.
Man, he would score like a trillion
840 points. He would average 840 points if he decided to transition and go to the WNBA. There were some other things he said too in that.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
But that's an important conversation.
It's true though, man. That's why there's men's sports and there's women's sports. We're different. That's all there's to it.
You gotta love what you just saw, right? You like your sports without the nonsense, sports without the woke. You can get plenty of that if you head over to our YouTube channel, go to the Breakaway channel, press subscribe, press like on every single one of those videos, smash it, hit it out of the park, let's go. It's awesome conversations, great content, and also if you're on Instagram, you can follow us at TPUSA Breakaway. Appreciate y'all. Peace.